I want to talk about my pal Jon Stewart. We go way back. And you might have seen me on his program on Comedy Central or he on the O'Reilly Factor. And we always had very lively discussions, funny. He's been very respectful. I respect him. So he pretty much is off the media circuit. He does one day a week on Comedy Central. I don't think his heart's in it anymore. If it were, he'd do 5. But he's still a very, very devoted liberal. Classic liberal man. And I have no problem with that. Okay, because Stewart believes what he says. He's not a phony. All right, and he doesn't take orders from his masters like the network and cable people do. Stewart doesn't do that. He's his own guy. Okay, and I respect that. I really don't care if he's liberal or not. We disagree on how the country should be run and philosophy in general, but that's okay. That's what America's all about. So the other day, he got into a little bit of a, I don't know, mess, MESS, on his cable channel. It was a fascinating story. So Stewart believes that the American pharmaceutical companies should be lowering their prices for prescription drugs to help the country. And he says because the federal government gives these pharmaceutical companies subsidies to do research and development, which is true, companies have an obligation to do it. But the companies don't want to do it because they want to make as much money as possible, so they keep the drug prices high. That outrages Stewart. So, on his show, this happened.
It's fine.
He broke a mug. The mug cut his hand. He had to go to the hospital and get stitches. And I'm sure you saw the clip. It's all over the internet. He just smashed it down. Now, somebody who has got a little feisty in my life. Hello, Barney Frank. Hello, Geraldo. I understand passion. And I like it. I think it's good. I don't like these zombie people on television and radio who do what they're told and they fake it and they, we'll see at the end of the day. I like real people. Okay, people who talk from the heart. I want them to back it up with the head. Okay, anybody can talk from the heart. If you don't know anything, hello, Hollywood. But Stewart's pretty smart, well-read. He doesn't fall into that category. But I have on the air, and all you have to do is Google Barney Frank, Bill O'Reilly, Geraldo, migrants, and you'll see it. You know, I don't think that's a bad thing. If you overdo it, then it becomes a caricature. Remember Morton Downey Jr.? God almighty. Oh, but if it's sincere in the moment, and that Stewart commentary was, it's good. Because it gets people, you know, thinking about something ordinarily they wouldn't think about. So when you get older, and a lot of younger people watch Jon Stewart, depending on your financial situation, you may have trouble buying drugs that can deal with your maladies, and you're going to get maladies. Okay? If you watch your diet and exercise now and start building your immune system up, likely the maladies will be fewer. But you're going to get them as you get older, and then you're going to die because that's what happens to everybody. And so you are. The American pharmaceutical companies are geniuses about all this. You know, we're going to have Alzheimer's drugs, we've got cancer, and all of that. With this AI is going to really be a significant improvement in the nation's health. But if the pharmaceutical companies are so greedy that they don't share this with people who don't have much money, that's wrong. I always said that I'm an absolute adamant capitalist. I came from no money and I rose up and I did very well because I worked hard, I developed my skills and talents, and I gave an honest presentation. And that's what happened. And you can do it, anybody can do it. It's possible for anybody in this country to do it. And Oprah is the best example. Barack Obama, on and on and on and on. But if you arrive at old age and you don't have a lot of resources, and that's the circumstance for most elderly people, and the pharmaceutical companies are going to deprive you of medicine because they want to make a few more bucks, I'm with Stewart. You got to come to a middle ground. The government's got to get in there and fight. Now, is that a Donald Trump priority? Probably not. But I hope I'm wrong. Was it a Joe Biden priority? No. He said it was. He did zero. And I think that's what really got to Stewart, because he mentioned both parties. Nobody's doing anything. I think that he felt that Biden would actually try. Biden never even tried to get these prices down. I should amend that. There was one area that his guys went in and improved it a little bit, but he didn't make it a centerpiece because he didn't make anything a centerpiece. All he wanted you to do was pay more taxes, fair share. Well, I want fair, and I want pharmaceutical companies to negotiate with the federal government to bring the prices of important drugs down. That unreasonable? So I'm with Stewart. Now let's talk about one more thing here. I said that Stewart lives in a bubble, which he does. And it's a liberal bubble. All his friends are liberal friends. I'm not a friend of Stewart's, I'm an acquaintance. He puts up with me, and I think he respects me because I'm like him. I say what's on my mind, okay? And I don't take orders from anybody. Never have. But I don't live in a bubble. I got friends in every persuasion, all over the place, because it's better for me to hear things that I probably wouldn't think of myself. So we're doing this tour, okay? The Three Americans tour with Chris Cuomo, liberal, Stephen A. Smith, he's a common sense guy, and me. It's March 30th at the Westbury Music Fair on Long Island, at 3 o'clock on a Sunday. This will be, I'm predicting, one of the best shows you've ever seen. The reason I'm doing it, and it's my production company, is because I want the audience to hear all of this. But I don't live in that bubble. It doesn't bother me if people disagree. I like that. If you disagree with this commentary, bill at BillO'Reilly.com. Name in town. Tell me where you disagree. I want you to do that because that makes me think. I have to come up with a better argument than Cuomo and Stephen A. in this show. And I got to do it funny. I can't be yelling at them like I yelled at Barney Frank. And I won't. All right? So, to Stewart, and I know a bit about Jon. He doesn't live in my world. He doesn't live in that world. He lives in a world where he gets up and people think the way he thinks. I'm not criticizing that. I'm just saying for me, it's much better for me to have that big wide net, all right, to consider. It makes me sharper, smarter, and it's more entertaining. Final thought. You watch cable news, it's the choir. Network news too. It's choir practice. Tell me more. And here's someone else who agrees with me. And here's somebody else who will say exactly the same thing. You're right. Yes, you're 100% right. You're absolutely right. You're this, you're that. Why? When I'm doing a factor on Fox and on the No Spin News Now on our independent channels all over the world, I want other people to disagree with me. I don't want choir practice. It makes me drowsy. It's boring. All right? Choir is good for church. Robust debate is good for the media. Check us out. March 30th, Long Island, Westbury. Go to BillO'Reilly.com. We got a link right over the box office. Go to the Westbury Music Fair. Get tickets. We'd like to see you. And we'll have another commentary for you on Monday. Thank you for watching. To view full episodes of the No Spin News anytime, sign up to become a BillO'Reilly.com premium or concierge member today.